Welcome to today's lecture under the Use of English series for JAMB UTME, episode 10. And today we are treating subjunctive, its forms and principles. Do not forget to enable your landscape view. The icon is usually located at this place that I'm hovering my mouse around, so do well to activate that. Without wasting much of our time, let's head straight into the outlines of today's topic. Now, the outlines: definition and examples of subjunctives, principles of subjunctives usage in a sentence, practice exercises from WAEC and JAMB/answers, quick recap of the lecture. You will learn the above in this lecture, and I wish you good luck. Subjunctive. Subjunctive are the forms used for expressing unreal situations such as wishes, imagined situation, and so on and so forth. Subjunctives are forms used to express situations that is likely not to be real, unreal situations, such as wishes, like when you want to make a wish or you are making a wish, or imagined situations, imaginations. You use subjunctive forms to express them. So let's see examples next. The first subjunctive form here is I wish, if only, I would rather, or I would rather. This one was contracted. Would was contracted here using an apostrophe. If you haven't taken my lecture on apostrophe, do well to take that, okay? It's time / it's time. This is also a contracted form of it's. So is was contracted here. It's time is time. It's about time. It's high time. These are subjunctives. As if. Another one again is suppose / supposing, and so on and so forth. We have lots of subjunctives, so do well to master them. So these subjunctives listed here are the most common subjunctives, but we have several others, so do well to research on them and get familiar with them. Moving on, subjunctives does not change. Only the tense of the verb changes. Take note of this, very, very important. The subjunctive does not change, but only the tense of the verb changes. Okay, having said that, the future is expressed in past tense. The present is also expressed in past tense, while the past is expressed in past perfect tense. Have that at the apex of your mind. Future, we use what? Past tense. Present, we use what? Past tense too. So future and present, we use past tense. We use past perfect tense to express past situations, which is likely to be unreal. Okay, so let's see examples next. So remember, take note that the subjunctive never changes. What changes is the tense of the verb. Okay, moving on to the examples. The first example we have here is under the present. Okay, and it reads, if I were you. This is a subjunctive. If is a subjunctive. If I were you, I would not do that. This is correct. The if here is the subjunctive. You can trace it down. The where here is the tense of the verb or the verb. The verb is in past tense, okay? I would. This would is also a what? A past tense verb. Where is a past tense verb? Would is also a past tense verb. Not do that, okay? So remember, the tenses of the verb or the tense of the verb changes and not the subjunctive, okay? So here, expressing present if I, we are using what? We are using a past tense verb, okay, to express it. So if you put a present tense verb here, the sentence becomes wrong because when the subjunctive is used to express the present, it does not go with a present tense verb, okay, or a future tense verb or a past perfect tense verb. Only past tense verb, such as the one we used in this example, where and would. Next example here, it says, if I am you, I will not do that, which is wrong. Why is it wrong? The if here is a subjunctive. Am is a what? Is a present tense verb. Will is also a present tense verb or a present tense verb form. Okay, and we are expressing a present situation using subjunctive. Remember the law. When expressing present, you use past tense. When expressing the future, you use past tense too. When expressing the past, you use past perfect tense. Moving on to the next. More examples on present. You talk to me as if you were my mate. Remember the law. The subjunctive here we have is if, which is what? Present. Okay, if is present, like if you do this is present. We are talking in the present. Okay, if is a present subjunctive. Remember the law. The law says a present subjunctive should go with what? It should go with a past tense form of verb, and we have a past tense form of verb, which is where you're making this correct. Moving over to the next example we have here under present still. You talk to me as if you are my mate. Wrong. Why is it wrong? The subjunctive we have here is if, and it is a subjunctive form of the present, expressing the present. Okay, remember the law. The law says present goes with what? Past tense form of verb. Is are, the verb we have here, is it a past tense form of verb? No, this is a present tense form of verb, making this wrong. More examples on present. It's time we went home. Correct. Why is it correct? It's time is a subjunctive form and is a present subjunctive form used to express the present. Okay, remember the law. Present goes with past tense verb, and the verb we have here is went. Went. Is went a present tense verb or a past tense verb? It's a past tense verb. That's what makes these statements correct. Okay, moving over to the next example we have here. It's time we go home, which is what? Wrong. Why is it wrong? Because it's time here is the subjunctive, okay, and is a present form subjunctive. Okay, the verb we have here is go. Is go a present tense or past tense verb? Go is a present tense verb, making this sentence wrong. Remember the law always. That's when you want to express the present with a subjunctive, use a past tense verb. Let's move on to the next. Future. Okay, future. Let's look at the example we have under future expression. I wish I could see you tomorrow, which is correct. I wish here is a subjunctive form. I could. Could here is a past tense verb. Since we are expressing the future, the law says use what? Use past tense to express the future. So, I wish is talking about the future. Okay, I wish. You are making a wish. I wish is a future subjunctive. Then, it should go with what? A past tense verb. And it went with what? Could here. Or it goes with could here, making this correct. Okay, moving over to the next example here. It reads, I wish I can see you tomorrow, which is wrong. Why is it wrong? I wish is a subjunctive. And what form of subjunctive is it? It's a future subjunctive. I wish. You are talking about something that is likely to happen in the future. I wish, future. So the law says use past tense to express future. Use past tense verb to express future. Okay, and here, it's can was used here. Is can a present tense form of verb or a past tense? It's a present tense form of verb, making this wrong. You are supposed to use a what? A past tense form of verb, making this sentence or this statement wrong. Moving over to the next. More examples under future. I would rather you wrote the letter tomorrow, which is correct. Why is this correct? Because I would rather is a subjunctive, and I would rather is talking about the future. I would rather is talking about the future. Okay, it's a future subjunctive. Okay, you wrote. The wrote here is what? Wrote is what? A past tense form of verb. Remember the law. Future goes with past tense what? Form of verb, never with present tense. Okay, making this statement, this subjunctive statement, correct. Let's look at the next example we have here. I would rather you write the letter tomorrow, which is wrong. Why is it wrong? We have a subjunctive here, which is I would rather, a subjunctive form, which is a future subjunctive form. So you write. Write here now is a present tense verb or a verb form in present tense. The law states that future subjunctive should go with past tense verb or past tense form of verb. And this form we have here, write, is a present tense form of verb, making this statement wrong. Let's move over to the next. Let's look at the examples from the past expressing the past form of subjunctive. The first example we have here is I wish you had written the letter yesterday. I wish you had written the letter yesterday, which is what? Correct. Why is it correct? I wish here is the subjunctive. This I wish is talking about the past. I wish. Like you are trying to talk about something that someone failed to do the day before. Okay? I wish. I wish. I wish you had written the letter yesterday. You are talking about something that someone was supposed to do yesterday. So you are expressing the past. Okay? So remember the law. The law says the past should go with a past perfect tense verb form. Okay? So the verb form we have here is had written. Had written. Is this a past perfect tense verb form? Yes, it is. Past perfect tense verb form, making this statement correct. Let's look at the next example we have here under the past. I wish you wrote the letter yesterday, which is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because I wish here is our subjunctive. Look at it. Trace it down is the subjunctive. Wrote here is the what? The verb. Is wrote in present tense form, a past tense form, or a past perfect form of verb? Which of the forms of verb is wrote? Wrote is a past tense form of verb. And remember what the law says, when you are expressing the past, you should use past perfect tense. So that's what makes this statement wrong. Past tense was used here instead of past perfect tense. Never you forget the law. Moving on. Note something very important. When we use the subjunctive with to, the sentence becomes real and we no longer change the tense. So when you use to with a subjunctive, or you use a subjunctive with to, to, the sentence becomes real. Remember, subjunctive is used to express an unreal statement, okay, or a statement that is likely going to be unreal, okay. So when you integrate to the sentence, it shows that the sentence is now real, making it lose that property of being a subjunctive. So it's no longer a subjunctive, okay? It's no longer a subjunctive statement, thus the sentence becomes what? Real. Is time is a subjunctive. Why didn't we obey the normal rule of subjunctive by putting past tense here or past perfect tense here, depending on the subjunctive form? What we have here is the present tense verb, because we have to here, because this is a real statement. It's time to go there. You are telling someone that it's in the present. Okay, the statement is in the present. You are telling someone it's time to go there. It's a real situation. It's a real statement. Okay, you are telling someone directly, a direct statement. It's time to go there. Okay, it's a real. So these two made it a real statement. So there is no need to apply the law of subjunctive here again, because the statement is now real. Okay, looking at the next example we have here, it says it's time to went there, which is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because we are already using to here, and to made it a what? A real statement. Okay, since the statement is real, there is no need to go with the normal law of subjunctive here by changing the tense. Okay, the tense remain the same. Okay, the tense remain the same, following normal grammatical syntax, normal grammatical law. Look at the statement in the bracket. It says both real and unreal. Okay, makes no what? Sense. It makes no sense because we have a subjunctive here and we are still using to here. It's like you are bringing a real statement and an unreal statement together, which makes this senseless. Okay, so let's move on to the next. More examples. I wish I had a book, which is unreal. Why is it unreal? Because it has no to. We are still obeying the law of what? Subjunctive. Remember, I wish is a subjunctive, and I wish is talking about the past. Okay, and we are expressing the past with a past perfect tense, which is had. Okay, so this is a normal subjunctive because it does not have to. Looking at the next example we have here, it says, I wish to have a book. This is a direct statement. It is a real statement. Real is correct, is real, because we have included to here alongside the subjunctive. So this is no longer a subjunctive form again. It's now a real form. Okay, so the moment you put to, it becomes real. It's no longer a subjunctive form. And you what? You do not use the rules of subjunctive again the moment you see to there, because it's now a real statement. Use a normal grammatical law or normal grammatical rule to arrange the statement or to construct the statement, because to has made it lose its property of being a subjunctive. Okay, looking at the next example we have here, I wish to had a book. Wrong. And why is it wrong? Both real and unreal situation, or both real and unreal statement, makes no sense. There is no sense in it because you have I wish here and you are still using to here, and you are still using the law of subjunctive by putting had here, which is a past perfect tense. So this is wrong. It's just like putting both of your legs in different trousers. Okay, you put one leg, you put one leg. You are not using one law. So this is a subjunctive, this is to, and to makes it a real situation. And here we are still obeying the subjunctive rule by using a past perfect tense. Okay, so you are, since you have to here, we are supposed to use the normal grammatical rule, which is to put a present tense verb here, which is what have. I wish to have a book is correct, which is the example we have here. But I wish to have a book is wrong. It's just like using two rules at the same time. Two rules that is not supposed to be used together, using them at the same time. Okay, moving over to the next. Notes, an important note. Had better, you can see the color coding. It was color coded in red. Had better is not a subjunctive and should not take past tense as the subjunctive do. Had better is not a subjunctive. It should not take past tense. So had better is exclusive of the subjunctive rule. Okay, there's always an exception to a rule. Okay, so in this case, had better is the exception to this subjunctive rule. So had better is used to express the future. Okay, had better is used to express an unreal situation. Okay, but it is not a subjunctive and it should not obey the law of subjunctive. It should not, do not apply the law of subjunctive on had better, okay, or a statement with had better. Okay, let's look at the examples we have here. The first one says, you had better do what you are told, which is correct. Present tense, do here is a present tense form of verb. So remember, had better is not a what? It's not a subjunctive, so it should not take past tense like the present subjunctives do under the rules of subjunctive. Okay, but when we look at the next example we have here, it says you had better did what you are told. You can see had better is not a subjunctive, and here we are giving it a past tense, putting the subjunctive law into had better, which does not commensurate with the rule of English, because had better is not a subjunctive. So had better should go with a normal grammatical law and not a subjunctive law, because it is not a subjunctive form. Have I made myself clear? I think I have. Moving on to the next. We are done, and let's take some exercises under the JAMB UTME 2000/2008. The instruction says, pick the most appropriate alternative. Do not forget to read your instruction in your exam hall. Okay, always read your instructions. Very, very important. Because if you don't read your instruction, even though you know the questions, you might fail because you didn't read your instruction. You didn't obey what those that are in charge of setting the exam question wants you to do. You are supposed to comply with exam rules, in which one of them is reading and obeying your instructions. Okay. Number 1, he had better not go there because if he dash, he would be beaten up. A, done. B, gone. C, did. D, does. He had better not go there because if he dash, he would be beaten up. What's your answer? You answered right. The correct option is D, does. He had better not go there because if he does, he would be beaten up. Next. Number 2. If things were going well, I dash bought the car next month. If things were going well, I dash bought the car next month. A, will have. B, would have. C, must have. D, we probably have. What's your answer? If things were going well, I dash bought the car next month. You answered right. The correct option is B, would have. If things were going well, I would have bought the car next month. Number 3. By the end of June, I dash finished my exams. By the end of June, I dash finished my exams. A, will have. B, will probably have. C, could have. D, might have. What's your answer? By the end of June, I dash finish my exam. You answered right. The correct option is A, will have. By the end of June, I will have finished my exams. These are the answers. What did you score? A quick recap of the lecture. It says subjunctives are the forms used for expressing unreal situations, such as wishes, imagined situations, and so on and so forth. They include I wish, if only, I would rather, / I would rather. This one is another form of I would rather. This one is just the same thing. This one was contracted, would was contracted here. And here, would was written in full. And so on and so forth. The future is expressed in past tense. The present is also expressed in past tense, while the past is expressed in past perfect tense. Never you forget this about subjunctive, okay? The tenses of the verbs change and not the subjunctive. Subjunctive remains the same. The present and future is expressed in past tense, while the past is expressed in past perfect tense, okay? Note, had better is not a subjunctive and should not take past tense or should not obey the law of subjunctive. Thank you so much for taking this lecture. Do not forget to subscribe and follow for more at Nkwado Augustine across all social media platforms. Do you have any question or knowledge gap? Do well to drop your question and knowledge gap in the comments, and I will do justice to your questions and knowledge gap. At this point, I'm out.